Hello everybody, it is I, You2Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Rowdy Revin Busch from the first edition of the NASCAR Cars diecast line. Rowdy was released in, I believe, the final wave of the 2021 to 2022 NASCAR line, alongside Bubba Wheelhouse, and I believe a wheel variant of McQueen. Of course, Rowdy is named after the late great racer Kyle Busch, who unfortunately passed away this year. It is really tragic what happened to him, and I'm really hoping the family's doing okay. And I think because I got this item relatively close to when Kyle passed, I held off on reviewing the diecast because I felt it'd be extremely disrespectful to immediately review this guy right after someone, passed away. The person this car is named after. I didn't want to make it seem like I was taking advantage. I wasn't gonna, obviously. I don't remember if I fully recorded that video or not is the thing. So even then, I don't think I was intentionally gonna, but I guess I still worried that I would, and that's why this item's just been kind of sitting around in my collection. But I think now is a decent time to finally review them because I'm kind of in a drought right now, and so may as well finally give this next gen some love. So this is Rowdy Revin Busch. That is a reference to a nickname Kyle got during his tenure as a racer. So of course, Kyle, Rowdy here is the HTB next gen. That is super cool. Now, at first glance, he looks really similar to Eric Breaker, a metallic sort of green color with yellow accents, but I think he's different enough from that character to warrant existing. Also, just again, HTB, right? A next gen of HTB is super cool and super creative. A lot of people were upset that he wasn't Taco Mint, but I mean, I think HTB is just inherently a way cooler concept. I think it's more distracting with Kyle Larson, or Kyle Carson, as the diecast is named. But yeah. So here's his expression. I don't think he looks angry. None of the NASCAR next gens really look angry. They kind of just look more confused. I think that's because they all keep the frowning mouth expression. But I guess he does look a little annoyed, so I guess it's a bit in character for someone like him. Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy. Those are, of course, the main secondary sponsor, but of course, if you guys remember what Chick Hicks looks like, you'll remember his famous several decals just plastered all over. And they got you covered. So the way they handled the other secondary sponsors is they made it a part of the design with the sort of darker green having all of the next gen sponsors, and they are the next gen sponsors. They are the newer logos. That's really cool. I really appreciate them doing that. Such a good attention to detail for this next gen. HTB. I don't think the actual graphic design of HTB changed all that much. Still got the balloons. They actually removed what the name of the company. I don't think it doesn't say Hostile Takeover Bank anywhere. I don't think. Again, I don't remember if I fully reviewed this item or not. It is Rookie Stripes, 18. Kind of blew past the side because, admittedly, it's kind of basic. The secondary sponsors are a bit hard to see, but I think it works. I really wish they gave him yellow rims. I think if they did make a metallic version at any point, he would probably have yellow rims, very similar to Bubba here. That's not really something I think they do, and I'm not going to customize this item to have it, although he is a bit poor condition. The story behind this item is that my friend found him in a it was a Goodwill. I think it was the bag that he got a Hydro Wheels Max Schnell of all items from. It was some version of Max Schnell. And originally he was going to customize it, and I'm really glad I saved this item because, Rowdy is a special item. It's a NASCAR Next Gen. Those are nothing to scoff at. And one of the first ones to have these updated wheels, I believe him and Bubba were both the first, which is kind of ironic if you remember a certain 2-pack from 2013 with a certain other HTB racer. Here's the other side. It's pretty similar. I do like the spoiler being all nice and wavy. And here is a look at the base. He is a made in Vietnam car, as pretty much everything non-mainline was during this period. Of course, now we're getting back to production in China. I think they're still going to keep Vietnam as a co-producer of Diecast, but I think it's mostly going to be China from here on out. So yeah, there's his grill. It's obviously not as iconic as Chick Hicks's grill, but I don't think it needed to be. I don't think this guy is trying to be Chick Hicks. Obviously, when you have the same sponsor as one of the main characters of a franchise, you know, in this franchise, you're expected to follow a lot of the same precedents. But no, I think Rowdy takes the concept of HTB, applies it to a pretty standard next-gen body, and it works pretty well. This is actually a made in Vietnam chick. I've been debating reviewing this guy at some point. I was originally going to customize him, but then I noticed an error here on the top. So now I'm debating not and just keeping him as is, just to have a spare Chick Hicks. Because, you know, Chick is not a character I get duplicates of very frequently. He's not like an item that gets released in anything other than singles nowadays, unfortunately. So yeah. Again, now grill. Let me try. Yeah, so they actually don't say HTB, Hostile Takeover Bank, anywhere. It's just the HTB, which I guess works. I guess that proves that, like, brands, like, you know, recognizability is a thing when you can just have the logo on a car and people can instantly tell, hey, that's HTB, for better or for worse. I think that's pretty good. Of course, you look at the top. I like that they use the number 18 and it looks sort of similar to the 86. I think that's really cool. So yeah, not much more to say about Rowdy Revin Busch. Other than, I guess it's kind of funny that he's my second ever, like, next gen that was exclusive to the NASCAR line, because I collected Danny and Bubba since I didn't really have their regular variants at the time. But for, you know, Rowdy, his only other compadre is the William Byrev diecast, and I believe they didn't like each other. I don't remember the exact history of. Wait, is my Bubba? Is my William Byrev an error? I never know. No, that can't be. That looks intentional. I don't know. But yeah. Still, I'm super happy to have Rowdy Revin Busch. And I'm super grateful he wasn't turned into a custom. And again, I wish what's best for the Busch family. I'm still hoping that this video came off as respectful as I can make it, because I really do just like this toy car. I wasn't much of a NASCAR fan, but I knew Kyle was a pretty fun dude. Well, I'm going to sign off now. Hope you all enjoy the review, and I shall see you all around. Bye-bye.